Oh,
There-
yeah.
there- A whole stream of them are following.
Right, the mics are on, so careful what you whisper in the back.
Uh-oh.
The most sensitive mics are the ones over the audience. You get great comments.
Peanut gallery.
Listening to you, Tom.
Must be the camera.
Sometimes we cut them out, other times we do not.
That's not true.
Oh, I'm just
We
joking.
don't edit. We don't edit.
I'm joking.
We're back to 10:06,
Phones to vibrate.
Sure, so it's slightly over a minute.
but it's all, this is two.
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
Oh.
Doesn't sound like I'm gonna need all these copies.
Oh, do you want me to bring it up?
Copy of one thing. Basically the same thing, right?
Oh,
Slightly edited than that.
oh, that's right. I'll do it.
I'll take one, George, 'cause
Sure.
I didn't print one out to be new line.
Yeah.
I marked it. Got it.
You can just tell me.
Freaking out.
Call the meeting to order, February 2nd, 2026. First order of business is public comment. If you have a comment, please come to the podium, state your name and address. Address the comments to the board, not the audience, and you have 3 minutes. We're doing public comment. You have any public comment? No? No? Okay.
Hello.
Moving on. Appointments. Dr. Shaps is not available. He's feeling under the weather. So we'll go to Mr. O'Brien.
And I did not,
Oh,
I
no.
don't see Mr.
I
O'Brien here.
didn't tell him that Dr. Sharps canceled, I forgot. So,
Okay, we'll move things around. Steve Bullock.
I get text to tell him that to make sure.
So, here today to see if we can, oh, you very good. All right, excellent. Rebuild the compactors in the transfer station, the actual trash compactors, not the balers, the ones that we actually put the MSW in and ship. They've been in there 20 years, going back and forth. They've started to show signs of wear. There's a switch that rolls off the back of them that tells us when it's all the way out, so it auto returns back, and every once in a while it'll fall off and it won't come back. That's the first sign normally that they're starting to wear out. If we don't fix them, they're gonna be more money down the road to fix. So essentially, we're just cutting out the inside of them and then putting in new armor-plated steel and welding it all back together, and then pulling the pistons out and checking the pistons and making sure that they're not screwy. This is in the CIP/FTP. It was in to do one year, one the next. But they were also in there for
$65,000.
each. And this is 20, and the quote was for 25 for both.
The only thing I would ask, Steve, for the board is there just one contractor that does this? Because the
Normally,
purchasing
there's
policy-
some in, there's one or two in Mass that end up charging you prevailing wage out of it. Atlantic Recycling's in Rollinsford. They used to be where Sullivan Tire was over by the traffic circle. So they're the local company. They're the ones that have historically done all the maintenance when we couldn't do it ourselves to the balers and the compactors in the transfer station.
How long does this work take?
3 days
3 days?
per.
Per,
So you would do one
okay,
and then go over to the other, so you wouldn't have any downtime, we would just be using one
yeah, that's the point of my
compactor than
question.
the other.
People get cranky when you cancel dump day,
I know.
transfer station.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Any questions from the board?
No questions.
No.
Straightforward.
Okay. Move to accept the quote from Atlantic Recycling Equipment LLC in the amount of $25,465 to repair and reline the 2 transfer station trash compactors. Funds to come from the transfer station capital reserve fund, and to grant the town administrator permission to execute said quote. Do I have a second?
Second?
Any discussion?
No.
No? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. O'Brien is here now.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Mr. O'Brien, you're up, sir.
Excellent. Hello, everybody. Good to be back before the board. We all are doing well. I believe you saw the proposal that we forwarded along regarding the scoreboard, proposal for a scoreboard at Little River Park. Last time I was before the board, we talked about lots of ways that collectively all of us would like to, add improvements out there at Little River. As I've said here before the board, it is a wonderful baseball field, one of the best on the seacoast. And we have this opportunity through this corporate sponsor to receive a scoreboard, and then we just need to install it. Since I sent and edited that proposal that we forwarded on late last week, we collectively, ORYA, have discussed options, and today I spoke with Steve Bullock about possibly this being a cheaper install than we previously thought, given the location of the well shed there and the electricity hookup that exists in the well shed, which is far closer to the fence line than the pavilion. So with all that in mind, ORWA does believe that we would be able to cover the cost of the install. Frankly, from my own personal perspective, I would, like to do that so that the town, could explore options that we've discussed in the past about other improvements out there. The potential for a snack shack, the potential for, a lacrosse field in the old, where the sheep field is currently. So that's where we stand, and some updates based on the proposal I sent last week, and I'd be happy to hear any feedback or thoughts you all have on it.
Questions? Any questions?
No questions.
All right, has this Recreation Commission seen this yet?
That I'm not 100% sure. There is a Recreation Commission member with us this evening that might be.
Karen and I are aware of it.
Any issues?
Yeah, when I talked to Denise last week, or 10 days before that actually, because we knew we were gonna try to get it to her by last Thursday, I asked if we needed to go to the rec board first, and she said we could just bring it to the full board because we'd had the broader conversation, so didn't mean to pass over that
No,
step,
that's-
I did
that's
ask.
Is any of this stuff that maybe the highway department could help with, or are you busy, or?
We could dig the trench for them and backfill it.
Okay.
The rest of it, we really can't. It's not anything we would do, but
Can I ask you a question in terms of, out there, we talked the last time when you were here, a whole bunch of different things, snack shack and whatever. Is there any consideration at some point putting lights out there?
I would love to have lights out there. That's incredibly expensive based on estimates we've done in the past
Okay.
at smaller fields.
Okay.
But yeah, lights would be a game changer.
I'm just thinking about, usually wiring is cheap, the labor to put it in is more expensive. So I'm just thinking, is there any possibility that the trench or whatever is gonna be, the piping or whatever, can have the ability to put wiring in there so you don't have to run like another trench or dig it up again?
That's
I
a
don't know
good
if that's-
question. It's a good question, and I would certainly explore that, we would explore that with the electrician before we do
Okay.
anything.
Okay.
Can I make a comment? Maybe you can just,
They come to the-
maybe just put the conduit in, if you have an electrician size it first while the trench is open, and then at a later date pull the wire.
It's great, good to know.
Okay. anything else?
No.
All right. I move to accept Oyster River Youth Association's proposal to accept a donation from Lighthouse Credit Union in the amount of $6,700 to purchase a scoreboard for the baseball field at Little River Park. And in terms of, what's this last part? Move to accept the following payment arrangement.
What, because you needed to discuss where the money was gonna come from to do the install, so I think they just said there.
Yeah, like I said, based on my discussions with Steve and our discussions internally, I think we would be able to cover this. And again, I'd like to give the town the opportunity to save that money to
Okay.
pursue other improvements that we've all discussed out there. So maybe the second half is just the approval to move forward with the install in collaboration with the town. We wouldn't do anything out there, obviously, without,
Okay.
looping in Steve.
So can the highway department commit to this?
Yeah, it's not a day's, it's half a day to dig it and less than that to bury it.
So let me add to that particular motion, that Oyster River Youth Association will cover any particular costs, and the town agrees to do the trenching for the conduit. Are we okay with that?
We're good.
That sounds good.
It's amazing.
Second.
Any
Double
Oh, I'm
discussion?
so excited.
We're really okay with that.
Yeah.
No discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you very much for doing that.
Thank you so much, guys, and I would, again, just in closing, I think maybe sometime in the coming weeks, we should, it would be great to huddle, and plan for other things we've discussed out there, We're certainly open to it, and I know you all are too.
And can we ask the Recreation Commission, make sure everybody's aware of that?
Absolutely,
And
yes.
also, if you have any questions, you can direct them to Mr. O'Brien.
Yep.
Okay.
That'd be
Thank you,
great.
sir. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
guys.
All right, the snowmobile people, George Revere, sorry.
George Pavir, 80 France Road in Barrington. I'm the president of the Lee Snow Travelers Snowmobile Club. So in the audience are a couple of our officers of the club, Bob Chappelle Lee and Jeff Hollister Lee. We also invited local conservation officers, should there be any, Officer Golden, should there be any questions along that front. So a little bit of history first. We're requesting a reroute of an existing trail that travels across Little River Park. Trail's been there for many, many years prior to the town owning that property. And up until recently, the trail utilized right-of-way through a portion of that property. That right-of-way was relinquished by the town, and subsequently the landowner has removed permission for us to use that portion of the trail. So we've come to the town, presented to the Lee Conservation Commission to reroute within the park, utilizing some existing trails that are not currently snowmobile trails. This is an important trail for the Snowmobile Club. It connects us to the north, to Barrington, and extended trail all the way north from there, with the southern half and Newmarket and Newfields and all other trails down that way. We've reviewed this, presented to the Conservation Commission. They did a walk of the plan. They developed some requests as part of the agreement that we would commit to, work with them to do some improvements in order to place the trail where they would like it to see it done. In addition to that, because the timing, of course, being a volunteer club and understanding that we no longer had permission for the previous trail late in the year. Now we have snow, to get it done quickly, we're also asking that we utilize the shoulder of the road as interim use as we explore other options in the future to continue with this trail continuation to the north. I've provided the map there, identifies where the trail on the Little River Park goes, as well as our request to the town for utilization of the shoulder of the road there.
I think you're probably aware, George, but when the board relinquished the right-of-way, they were under the belief that you were going to be able to continue to use that
Yeah,
right-of-way.
Unfortunately, that's not exactly what happened.
the question I have, running along Lee Hill for that distance, how does that work? Because that's on the shoulder, but
Yeah, I
people live
mean,
there.
it's not a great distance. It's not a great distance. We're not talking a lot of snowmobiles, we're not talking a lot of constant traveling. It's just gonna wear down their skags a lot more, but other than that, I don't see a problem with it.
Because they're gonna travel on the side of the road, on the snowbank, or in the road?
It would be, typically you ride up on the snowbank, you wanna stay as much in the snow as possible because
Yeah.
the bare pavement will run down the runners on your
Yeah.
skis, so.
You can see tracks this evening if you shine your headlights down where some folks have been using that
Okay.
shoulder now.
And in terms of because we own this particular property over here, but how about over in here, where you're going to George?
Yeah, so that was brought to our attention at the Conservation Commission. It appears that the property lines aren't exactly clear to us, and we didn't notice any markers, but apparently a corner of that existing trail is on another property owner's. So we have made contact with that property owner. We haven't received a reply yet, but we have contacted them. It's this corner here, you can see the layer.
Okay.
Which corner?
That would be the top corner
Over there,
adjacent
yeah.
to the air.
We think we're all good.
Sorry.
Brent?
Ooh, sorry.
All right, so don't let the difference in green colors of this map influence you. You
Okay,
can see the lighter carve out of a house lot.
yeah,
Some of it is the discrepancy of maps, scales and lines and people that go out with all trails and
okay,
upload it. And we haven't had an issue all these years that we've had that trail there.
okay,
So we're not making a new trail, we're using the existing trail.
okay. I just wanna make sure that.
If you see
yeah.
the very faint rectangle there on Lee Hill, where he has an arrow pointing trail
Yeah.
through root approved, yes, that's private property, but that darker gray-green, that's town-owned.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was the former Bricker.
I just wanna make sure that we're not saying, hey, you can go ahead and do this.
No, and you just said you made contact with that landowner to make sure.
We've made contact, I've been to the landowner's house, I introduced myself. They asked that they think on it overnight, and
Okay,
haven't received a response yet. But that would be as part of the Snowmobile Club and our agreements with the Trails Bureau. We need permission on any property owners,
okay,
which is part of why we're here.
We don't think it's on private property, but we will make sure.
okay.
And then from the parking lot at Little River Park, we worked with them, we walked all of that, we plotted out where we're staying on existing trails that parallel 155 and then have a nice found point where they can cut over to the trail and be on the level.
So at some point down here, this little blue thing matches up with the purple?
We need a bigger map.
Yeah, that would,
You brought bigger maps.
that would connect to the existing road crossing that's there currently.
Okay,
It's over in the dirt, it's an expansion parking lot that's to the left of the entrance.
okay.
No need to worry.
Pretty good jump for
Okay.
At the beginning of that right now, I noticed. That works.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then you
There's two in there.
would change this for next year when you have more time, or?
Yeah, we're exploring that. We don't exactly, we need to, the next step would be to be walking some of that landscape across Lee Hill Road to identify, what exactly does that land look like? Are there any existing maybe logging roads or something we might be able to utilize, and then start talking to property owners accordingly. So that's a process that takes some time.
George, let me make one comment.
Just pull up Chappelle, the trail master.
Yeah, I've spoken to John Weatherby, and he owns the property behind the frontage houses on Lee Hill Road, and he's already given us permission.
Okay,
So
Right.
it's just one person we've got to talk
Okay.
to. We figured we'd jump through this hoop first and
okay.
go from there.
Great. Any other questions?
I have one question. You said that this is gonna be over existing trails or over maybe new ones. Is any of these trails walking trails as well, or is it just all snowmobile trails?
They're currently hiking trails. The previous trail was a shared trail, whether we were snowmobiling or people were utilizing it for skiing or hiking or what have you. We find it very common that the cross-country skiers appreciate the snowmobile trails to some extent.
So also in terms of the property that we own, the town owns is over here.
Yes.
So are you going like round trees and stuff like that? We have to cut down any trees?
Yeah,
or-
we've worked with the Conservation Commission. There were a couple locations that we would work with them, and they're approved.
Okay.
Chainsaw regulations.
Yeah.
We would work together hand in hand in order to do any required work there.
Okay.
Let me just make a comment. George couldn't make the site walk with the Conservation Commission, I was there. But they suggested, establishing a new trail
Mhm.
rather than looping all the way out.
Okay,
And we don't wanna cut a lot of big trees.
okay,
We just try and keep the small stuff, trim the branches.
okay.
Yeah, the trails, they're not perfectly straight.
And do you use signage so people know where
Yeah,
to
we
go?
put arrows up, stuff like that.
And
Like there's
that's-
the one corner there, we can put an arrow to make sure they go, the
Okay.
proper way.
All set?
Good.
All right. I move to approve the presented reroute of the snowmobile trail and approve travel along the shoulder of Lee Hill Road for approximately 200 yards in order to reconstruct the existing trail. Said road shoulder use is proposed as an interim measure. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah.
No. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Regular business.
Yes,
Mr. Roberts.
the first order of business I have is the Ocean River Harmony Chorus. This is a women's choral group that meets on Thursdays to sing. They're being displaced from their current location at the church, for some other activities. Have it on here because they specifically requested use of the old town hall, which is not quite the same as this building, and typically the board weighs in on whether they want groups using the old town hall, who they want.
15 to 20 people. And I don't think we'll meet downstairs.
I think primarily because of the acoustics.
Well, no, they don't really fall into the rules that we have for this building.
They don't fall into the rules that we have for this building, and I think that
I think that the Old Town Hall with the stage was built probably much better acoustics in this building. That was singing.
So, but the rules for this building is the same as the town hall.
They are, but we don't,
we've typically,
the library does other, the Old Town Hall is used for other.
So they want this every Thursday for how long? Just every Thursday.
indefinitely, I think.
So-
We put a time limit on it.
That would limit the library to not Thursdays.
They were okay with this, they've seen this.
Oh, they were okay. Oh, okay, you
I'm
asked.
sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I figured why they didn't want in this building is because it could disturb what's going on between the
That's
police and
another
fire
reason.
department.
Is their singing really that bad, or maybe they'd like to
Well,
sing?
they're
No,
not
but-
singing bad.
I've
but
heard their singing, it's quite good, but I don't know
Excellent.
how the fire department would,
Oh,
If they're cooking in
Take
the other
to-
room,
a couple of hours of music.
the only thing I had a problem with is the insurance is our wrong address. Can we get them to fix that?
Mhm.
All right. Any questions from anybody?
No, I think it's good.
Was there
I didn't,
printed verbiage or
I don't
no?
think I did a motion for that one.
Okay. All right, I'll wing it. So, I move that we allow the Oyster River Harmony Chorus permission to use the Old Town Hall every Thursday until whatever,
It's at your pleasure.
from 6:30 to 8:30. Yeah, and the only thing I would say is just make sure they change the address.
Second.
Second, any discussion? No.
No discussion.
What, would you like some discussion? No?
No.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, moving on, I spoke with Mike Campo at Plodzik and Sanderson at the end of last week, and I believe the audit is just about completely wrapped up, and I'm hoping that we get a copy of it this week.
Okay.
Multiple copies of it, which I will forward to the board, and the treasurer, and trustees of the trust fund chair.
Okay, excellent, thank you.
Update on the assistant town clerk tax collector search. I'm not going to name the individual at this point, but we are prepared to make an offer, I believe on Wednesday. And I believe the candidate will be enthusiastic and
And the
well
candidate
qualified.
lives in town,
Yes,
okay, so they potentially can be the deputy.
yes, and has an interest in long-term aspirations here too.
Excellent, excellent.
Under miscellaneous, unfortunately, the fire chief and myself were notified by Liam Cashin, one of our full-time firefighters, that he will be moving on at the completion of his next shift, which is about 10 days from now.
Okay.
Just to follow up on that, we're in a relatively precarious situation with regard to fire overtime wages right now, and this is certainly not going to help it. I talked to the chief this morning. He's looking at items that he may be able to freeze in the budget, or places in the budget where he can cut back to try to offset those the overtime wages that he's going to see. So he and I will keep you updated on that as that goes forward.
Is he gonna attempt to find somebody to replace Liam?
Liam was full-time. He has 2 part-time candidates right now that are interested in part-time that might be able to help alleviate, depending on how quickly they're interested in coming on.
It's just at some point, the full-time people are gonna be burnt out. They give up all that slack, so, okay, all right, thank you.
I did not have anything else beyond that.
Okay. Consent agenda, I would like to pull number 1. I don't know if we wanna talk about it right now, but that's the same day as the 250th celebration. So there's gonna be a conflict there, so I am not in favor of approving that. Are you good?
No, I think it's a valid point.
Okay, so I move to accept the consent agenda as presented, but removing item number 1, the tri-state truck approval. Do I have a second?
Second?
Any discussion? No. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Denise, can you let them know that unfortunately that's our 250th celebration?
I think they've got enough time so they can.
Is there any other place in town, maybe town center or something?
So you're not
Maybe.
objecting to them riding, just objecting to them being at Little River Park?
Correct.
Does any of the route go the same route as the parade route though? Do we
Yeah.
have a parade route?
Yes, we do. Starts at the transfer station, ends in the Little River Park.
So, is that overlap with the,
Thompson Mill,
I'm not looking at this map, since it's.
yeah. They're going through, because they're going from, what is it, something to 7:30 to 4 PM. Yeah, so I don't even think they can go through, because it goes up to, where is it? Thompson Mill, it goes up to the center of town and then it goes down Wednesday Hill. So they're not gonna be able to go that way.
I don't know how big this event is, but we have the Reach the Beach that goes through my hometown, and you literally have thousands of people
Yeah,
going through
geez.
your town from,
Well, we've done this every year. I don't think there's, Tom, there's
this
not
is,
thousands, but
this is different
Yeah.
than the bicycle ones we've done every year.
we've done this every year. We've done this before. I signed, I
This
know we
is-
have.
This is ALS.
Yep, we did it, at least last year or the year, and the year before. We've done it for at least 2 years.
I
Well,
I don't recall it.
well,
I don't recall it.
No,
no.
it's a different, it's the rave.
So-
We've done a similar bicycle one, but
So maybe Denise, could you contact them and find out exactly what their route is? Because the parade's gonna go from the transfer station to Little River Park. So they cannot be using that particular section of road.
Okay.
So maybe they can find an alternative route, and I'm not sure if there's other places that they could have their rest station, but I'm not against the whole thing, I'm just, we're kinda like already booked on the other thing, so.
here is the sheet for item number 2.
Do we have some non-publics or not?
I do not, the fire chief would like to speak to you probably at the next meeting in non-public.
Okay. Okay, anything in old business? Says none, nothing. New business, nothing, and nothing in non-public. So other than that, anything? No?
Ooh,
I move to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a second?
second,
No discussion.
no discussion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Exciting.
See ya. Good night, sir.
I must have heard that the superintendent was gonna not be here. Normally,